Yeah, it's a good challenge. I mean, we got to have an opportunity to get the chemistry between that new combination up front, playing a really, really physical, talented group. And so I think these guys have done a nice job this week answering the bell, being physical, and trying to come back to work after a tough week. And those guys are going to have a great challenge. It's going to be an awesome opportunity to play against some really great players that play hard and well coached.
He says he feels good about where Sam is. Can you share your observations of how he's progressed this week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're excited to have him out here to practice and getting after it and in full rotation. You know, we're going to see. I think coach is going to make that decision here as we move forward. But it's awesome to have him back. He's a catalyst to what we do, and anytime your quarterback is in the mix, your starter who's had the impact he's got on our program. I think we all understand how that goes.
This is the first time you've kind of spoken since everything went down last week, where everyone was kind of surprised when the doubtful report came out on Thursday. How involved were you, I guess, in the decision-making process and helping prepare Jeff for Saturday, and how do you feel like both of them have necessarily handled it now looking back on it, reflecting on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my first rodeo with a guy who's a little bit questionable, you know, and I think as we got into the week and we get into the bye week, if you ever get anybody in any position that's going to go down or you think isn't going to play, your immediate attention goes to the backup, you know, and so, and not that Jeff's ever taken a backseat to paying attention or not being involved, but my attention went strictly to Jeff because if is there any possibility that Sam wouldn't play, we're going to have to be prepared for that. And so we prepared throughout the week, and Jeff did a nice job, had a lot of reps in the bye week, and went in and competed his tail off, you know. So we had an idea what we were gonna, what we'd do if that came out and Sam wasn't going to play. And so we made some adjustments as we knew that he'd have to make with certain things, and then move on, you know, and go forward.
What are your thoughts on the way Jeff handled that situation last week in the game, game-wise, how he performed in the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough down there in regards to the weather and everything else like that, and for anybody to go in there in that situation on the road in a storm and the rain and have to go out there and try to do it. I thought he competed his tail off. My hat's off to him. I give him a lot of praise for the way he competed and played and his toughness of running the ball and doing some of the things he needed to do. We needed to play better. I mean, he knows that. There's nothing more than that. But the way that his temperament was, his ability to go in there and focus and stay committed to what we were doing in that arena, I was really happy with him.
How do you think him and Sam have kind of complemented each other and brought the best out of one another?
They get along. There's a good relationship there. There's a friendship that I think extends off the football field, which allows those guys to push each other and help involve each other in the day-to-day process. I mean, you guys know how much we're together. I mean, we're together more than, they don't got wives, but I see these kids more than my kids, you know, and so they're the same. You know, they see each other more than they see a lot of other people, and so their relationship, they built bonds together that really. Sam was all with Jeff the entire time on the sidelines in that game, and it's vice versa in game when Sam's out there. So they've got a great relationship. I think it says a lot about those two kids.
Do you think it's the biggest difference between Texas Tech defense last year and this year's really the defensive line and how much they upgraded?
Yeah, I mean they've done an evolution that you normally see in a process where they've upgraded certain positions and gone out and established some talent acquisition and roster development, and that's what you get. It's really talented guys. They've got some head coach still there, the culture still there. There's not a whole program change, different coordinator, but yeah, they've definitely done a good job with their roster.
Kenny just said that they're the most talented team he's seen in his time in the Big 12. Would you agree with that?
I was in this Big 12 before too, a couple of years too. So I'm trying to go back and think of some pretty good Oklahoma teams in that time too. But this is as talented team as we've seen. Yeah, there's no question. They've done a great. They're a great defense. They're well coached. They play hard. They play together. They're reckless. It's an awesome opportunity. If you're not a competitor and you don't like this type of environment, you're probably in the wrong sport at the wrong level.
What are some of the hallmarks to their scheme?
Well, I mean, they can get home with just their four guys. You know, they can get home with just the front guys. That's where everything starts, right? They can control the line of scrimmage. They fit the run well with their linebackers. Their linebackers have a lot of well played, well downs. One of them was a captain in the preseason. So there's a ton just in the front in the run game, the pass game, that they don't need to really do a lot of sophisticated stuff to try to get home. And I think that's where it all starts. And in the back end, they do a really nice job complementing each other with coverage. And then when they do want to heat it up and play some games, that's tough because they add some firepower to the front. So they do a really nice job. Schemed up really well, and an awesome opportunity.
How would you assess how the offensive line has gelled together without Ben this week?
You know, it's always tough when you lose guys who's been with those guys for that long. You know, we feel for Ben. We're on things that have surgery today, and so I think today, the last couple of days, been an opportunity for those guys to answer, and that's the nature of this sport. Is it's got to be the next guy up. It's no different than a lot of things, and I think our guys understand those type of habits and mindset. Is you got to pull together, and the next guy's got to come in and be prepared and do the best he can, and these guys pull each other together, which is nice.
How would you assess Makua's performance in the reps that he got today?
I think he did a good job. I mean, he's coming in there getting in. Whenever he jumps in, there's not a whole lot of stuff in him like, hey, I don't even recognize what's going on. I think it's just the reality of a guy who has less reps, and you may pay closer attention. Usually when I turn on the film on some of the inside run and stuff like that, the pass protection stuff with BPU, that's usually where I hone in on really some guys who got a few more reps and kind of see, okay, I can see it more calmly and rewind it and take some more time.
Thanks.
You got it.
Thanks, Coach.